This movie was about
Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies, when we run this town with your host, T-Will, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classics, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. T-Will, T-Will. It's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. T-Will, T-Will. Every frame we capture is a real deal. Yeah. Talking premieres where the stars align. ATL views, yeah, they really shine. Behind the lens, capture.
Welcome, everybody. I got caught up in the music myself. I'm like sitting there eating, and I'm like, wait a minute, we got a show to do. What are you doing, T. Will? Welcome. Of course, I think you know us by now. I am T. Will, host of For My ATL Sports One and For My ATL Movies. And this guy right here, good friend of mine, Mr. Jordan Burton. He loves movies, the Eagles, the Saints, the Phillies. Don't ask. Anyway, Jordan, how you doing, brother? All well?
I'm fantastic today. How you doing?
Oh, are you now?
Yes,
You're
I am.
fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, hey man, I'm not mad at it. So tonight, Jordan, we got two on deck for us, right? We got Spider-Man 2. Okay. And I'll tell you what, Jordan. I went back and watched this movie. And I really liked it, man. I really I liked it a lot better. And I know you get sick of me saying this because honestly, I get sick of saying it. I get tired of saying it, but I really enjoyed this movie better the second time. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if it's maybe like it's been 20 years or something, but this movie was so much better the second time. Tonight we're talking about Spider-Man 2, and then after we get done with that, we'll do Elektra. Which again, by the way, Jordan, and I know you're not gonna believe it, but I enjoyed it a whole lot better the second time. It's weird.
I told
don't
you.
know.
I told you.
You did.
I told you you might.
You did tell me that. So we're
Mhm.
talking Spider-Man 2, released circa 2004. A wonderful year. The year my second child, Maya, was born. So obviously 1994, 2004. I'm sorry. It's the year my son was born. 2002 is the year my second child, Maya, was born. So Mariah was born 1994, Maya 2002, Zach 2004. So those are some of my favorite years, even though I forget the order of them. Whatever, I still remember them. So, but yeah, let's get into it, man. It's Spider-Man 2, right? So the last time we see our buddy Spider-Man, he's at a funeral for the Goblin, and his best friend looks at him and vows this promise to find out who killed his dad. And Peter feels guilty, and then he looks at MJ and he wants to tell her he loves her so bad. He wants to be with her so bad, but you know what? Jordan, with great power comes great responsibility, and he just doesn't do it. And the movie opens, and he's struggling with it all over again. He wants to see Mary Jane, and he wants to tell her, but in his mind, he's not only thinking that about the fact of that basically she was Harry's girl first, even though he liked her since the second grade, but also that she would be in danger if his enemies find out about her. And that's something they really don't touch on in the first one, but they kind of reiterate it, and it makes you think, okay, well, is he not going after her because of a promise? Not a promise, but basically he feels guilty for what he did to Harry's dad, or is he not going after her because he wants to protect her? And that's kind of like the first question, which we'll get into. But give me your thoughts on the opening scene, and let's get into the pizza chase first. Let's get into that scene. All
Pizza
right.
time.
So it's pizza time, right? Spider-Man shows up and he's like, "You are just not dependable," right? I'm trying not to culturally appropriate it, but every time I see it in my head, I got to do the accent. But his boss is like, you got to go 41 blocks and you got 8 minutes to get there. And of course, Peter takes off on the scooter, which, anybody else would be like, you know what? I'm just going straight Spider Man. I know if it was me, right? And I really needed the job, I'm just going to go with Spider Man. I'm just going to go in the back. I'm going to take the pizzas, go out the back, change into the Spider Man uniform, and I'm out the door. But not Peter. He's going to try and do it. I don't even want to call it the right way, but he's going to try and do it. And of course, he gets held up by traffic. And of course, there's an emergency where there's some bank robbers that are being chased. And of course, now he has to get into it, stop the bank robbers, stop a guy from eating the pizza that he throws up on the top of this building whilst trying to save some children. Woo! Whole lot going on. Um, let's talk about this first scene, Jordan. Give me your thoughts on it, the way we open here.
I want to say so I'm not a huge fan of starting movies with dialogue from the main character. It's never been an appeal to me. Um, and I know that's what Sam Raimi does with all three of the Spider-Man movies. Um, and that's probably the only movies where like I get it because like this Peter Parker doesn't have anyone. Like he has people, but he has nobody he can fully trust in. Throughout all three movies, like he can't trust Aunt May with his Spider-Man identity. He can't trust Mary Jane because he doesn't want her to be in trouble. He can't trust Harry because otherwise Harry will go psycho, like in Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
And he has to talk to someone. So him having like an inner dialogue that's to the audience, um, it's really powerful in the way he that Sam Raimi does it in all three of the movies. I wouldn't say I think the third one is where things start to like dry out and it ends up just not being all that great. But these first two opening dialogues in the first and second one really um, they they really set the stage of like what Peter's feeling like in this moment to start the movie. And I mean, the opening part of this movie and this movie in general, there are some people who are going to get this movie. And for a very long time, I did not get this movie. And I had the original Spider Man ahead of Spider Man 2 for a very, very long time up until like 2 years ago when I was doing my rewatch. And the struggles that he goes through, I mean, they're normal struggles. And on top of that, he's Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
he has to balance so much in his life, and it leads to like a mental like lapse in everything he does, and it
Mhm.
leads to him losing his power. So I love how this whole opening sets the stage for how Peter is struggling, and it sets the stage for the whole movie that this guy is struggling. So everything you see from here on out is him overcoming that struggle.
And trying to deal with it, right? So the,
Yeah.
the the irony in the first scene is that his superpowers can't save his job
Yeah.
because he gets
Yeah.
there late, right? You know what I mean? You're
Mhm.
Spider-Man, but hey, I'm not paying for it. And you know what? Not that I probably would have done the same thing, but just knowing the situation, I didn't like that lady. She's like, I'm not paying for it. I didn't like her in that
It's
moment.
always that one
And
person.
and I know she did probably what I would have done too, but I just the way she I'm not gonna pay for that, and he just walks off. But it's funny in the scene where he's trying to get out of the closet and the brooms just keep falling down, and I'm like, bro, just walk away. But him being super Peter
Mhm.
Parker, I got to be responsible. I got to put all of this back because you could have left, handed off the pizzas, and come back. Although he was 3 minutes late, so what does it matter? But it's just interesting. And then I think there's kind of like this dichotomy that they show in this first scene, in that he's trying to balance being Peter Parker with Spider-Man, and he's failing at both. And we'll see why as we dive into it. But you're right. What we see captured in this first scene is he's struggling to do both at this point. He's
Mhm.
failing at Peter Parker. He's failing at being Spider-Man, and as it is so often in life, there's something deeper going on with him, right? And we'll get into it, but once we get down to what the real issue is, then we kind of find out about it and we see what's going on. So yeah, interesting. Let's get to it. So, real quick plot summary: Peter Parker struggles with life balance as his powers falter. Doc Ock's experiment goes wrong, creating a new villain. Peter quilts being Spider Man, but quits being Spider Man. Sorry about that. But returns to save New York City and MJ. And there are a couple of scenes in here I really do love, Jordan. But let's get to some character
Mhm.
arcs right away. Peter Parker goes from burnout to renewed hero. Well, I think he goes from being tired to being burnout to being renewed hero.
Mhm.
Mary Jane Watson, self-aware partner, choosing love despite danger. What did you think of her character arc? I think you know what? I'm gonna let you speak. What did you think of Mary Jane's character arc in this film?
I mean, this is, I think, where, and this is where I think I said it with the first movie, that the
You
first
did.
movie was my favorite version of her, because from here on out, it's like she's not doing stuff for herself. She's doing stuff instead of being independent, which is what she was in the first movie. It seems like she's relying on way too many people, whether that's her astronaut fiance, who they've been together for what, like 5.2 seconds, or
Are
or
you making a
Toby.
mockery of their love, Jordan? Is that
Yes,
what
I
you're
am.
doing?
I am making a mockery of their love. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Mm,
No, but she just th- this is the problem. It's like they didn't know how to write her character after the first movie.
yeah.
They didn't know what direction to move her character. The only direction, actually, I would say Spider-Man 3 probably has more development for her than Spider-Man 1, even though I hate the way she's developed in the Spider-Man 3 compared to this one. So, but this, because the whole point is she's going to Broadway, but we open up with, okay, she is officially a on Broadway. She's officially like a big time talent now. That's it. And that's really all we get in terms of her independence. Now it's like her like moving on with her life, but she's still holding on to Peter. She's still holding on to him. And that's where, I don't know. That's where I think there should have been a little bit more independence, because it leads to the audience not respecting her character. And there are a lot of people who have strong opinions about this MJ, that because she is not independent compared to Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, compared to MJ in the home franchise of the MCU. And like this MJ after the first film, she just lacks her independence, and she ends up just being any other um like female led character to support the male character, like that stereotype.
So, well, let me ask you this: is MJ a reflection of the times in 2002 and 2004, as opposed to now 2025? Could that be a part of it?
I I honestly don't think so, because right around that time was when you saw a large that shift. Like, I could understand seeing it. I could understand seeing it in the first Spider-Man movie, but we didn't even see it in the first Spider-Man movie. Like, this first Spider-Man movie played her so well, and I loved her in that movie. And this movie just it just shifted. Like, it's like we had such she was on the highest of highs in the first movie, and then just dropped. And like, the conversation that they have in the cafe or wherever they're at, where
Yeah.
she's like, "Do you love me?" And he says no. And like, and she then leans in for a kiss. Like, I'm just like, dude, like, if this wasn't a movie, right? That you need to be a little more, you need to have more self-respect for yourself, right? That's my opinion. Um, like, this is a movie at the end of the day. But if you rewrote this movie, as fantastic as this script is, I will talk about this script. We could spend 3 hours on just the script alone.
Okay.
But this is the part where I'm like, they screwed it up, and I think if this movie came out now, um, she would have a lot more self-respect for herself. And that's why Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies has so much self-respect, and a lot of people really connect with her and like her, and especially her and Peter's relationship, because I mean, you see it in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which she flat out says to Peter, "I'm breaking up with you." And that was when I was like, I like her. I really
But,
like her.
but you know what? That's not the so here's the thing, right? She kisses him, and it's interesting because I thought about what you said as I watched this movie, and I found myself with your voice in my head as I'm watching certain scenes, and I knew you were gonna say this, but when I went to look at it, right before she goes to the scene in the cafe,
Mhm.
remember she's with her astronaut boyfriend, who talk
Yeah,
about
she's
no
trying.
development, right? Talk
Oh
about no
yeah,
development, right? But we'll
he
get into that.
sucked.
I mean, Jesus, like we just anyway. Um, but she tries to recreate the scene of her kissing Spider-Man in the
Mhm.
alleyway, right?
Yep. Hmm.
But at that point, I think she knows it's Peter. So when she tells him to kiss her in the cafe, she's trying to confirm it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
you get
and
what I'm saying? She's trying to confirm it because in the end, when he kisses her, she says, "I knew it was you." When he
but
she said, "Remember," she said, "I knew it was you."
mhm.
Right? So I mean, I'm not saying you don't have a point with the independence. I'm not saying
And
that.
here's the thing: what if she does kiss him, because obviously they got interrupted with Doc Ock.
Right,
If she
Doc
does
Ock.
kiss him, right, and it confirms to her that he's Spider-Man,
I just
what
got a
does
joke.
that do? What
I
does
just had
that
a
do to
joke in
her
my head.
character?
I just
What?
had a joke in my head. It's completely inappropriate, but I'm gonna share it. She said, wait, do you get it? Because I know you and I
No,
think alike. You know,
no,
I
no.
want
I
to
didn't know
say
what
it.
you were. I didn't know. I don't know where your head's at right now.
I'm thinking Doc Ock the cock blocker. That's what I'm thinking. Because he interrupted. Because she's about to kiss him. It just popped in my head, man. I don't know. It's just like really, like right there, right if they're about to kiss and he's throwing cars, man. You bastard! I can't believe. Anyway,
Oh man.
it just popped in my head, man. I had to get it out. I had, I had to get it out. He is. He's a hater.
But
No doubt.
but like, if she does kiss him, right,
Right?
and it confirms to her that that he's Spider-Man, which
Right.
I thought at the end of the first movie it was like her reaction to kissing him was like, oh my god, that
She would have
Spider-Man.
figured it out. Right,
Um,
right.
I think if she confirmed in that moment that he's Spider-Man, what is she gonna do? Like what? Like Peter just flat out told her, or when she said, "Do you love me?" and he said no.
But that's his
What?
mouth, right? And I know I'm gonna
Yes.
sound like a
Oh
stalker.
no.
I
Yeah,
know I'm
that's
gonna sound
definitely
like a
his mouth.
stalker. that,
Yes.
that I know
Yeah.
I sound like one of these crazy Lifetime movie people, but his actions say
Yes.
different, right? His actions,
Yes.
and that's where she's coming from. Like and which is kind of a cool line. It's just unfortunately we as guys can't do that. Like that's something that a woman can do. A woman can be like, "Kiss me." Oh, you don't kiss me like you don't love me, and it's cool because she's a woman. We do that crap, and we're gonna get brought up on stalker charges. I mean, it is what it is. But in that moment, I think what she's trying to do, I, it's not fair, man. It's not. It's just not. But it's not. It's not. You know it. You know. You
I'm
know.
not commenting on this.
But I mean, you can't, bro. You cannot do that. You can't show up to your ex girlfriend's house and be like, "Kiss me." If you don't love me, kiss me, and I'll go, because they're gonna have you locked up. But she can do that to you. It's just not
Local
fair.
Atlanta man gets arrested for showing up to ex.
Well, hey, I'm off the market. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I get what she was trying to do, right? She's like, because she's thinking about, because like, if I'm remembering it correctly, he had just gone to see her play, and
Mhm.
she's flushed, she's flattered because
Mhm.
oh, this is gonna sound weird, but it's about the mystery of it, right? Like the one thing that Peter has going for him is that he pulls away at the right moment. So there's this element of what if in her head, right? And it's gonna stay there until she gets closure, right? That to me,
Mhm.
a big theme of this movie is her getting closure, either yay or nay for this relationship. That's why she sends him the tickets. That's why she's pissed when he doesn't show up. Because on some level, she knows he's Spider-Man and she remembers that kiss. And yeah, either way, she wants to work it out. That's why she tells him about the relationship because she wants him to stop her. Now, anyway, where the hell are we? Okay. I just thought in that moment I understood it. I thought that one of the great things about this movie are the scenes between MJ and Peter Parker. And by
Mhm.
the way, Tobey Maguire, to me, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but after going back and watching this movie, he might be the best Peter Parker. He might be like he was so good in moments
Mhm.
in moments when he's about to kiss MJ, in moments when he's on a train and trying to stop this, and you see all the anguish in his face, in moments when he wants to tell Aunt May, but he holds it back and the guilt is killing him. I think Tobey Maguire does a great job of encapsulating Peter Parker. That's just me. But I just and I've forgotten that. It's funny because I was, I'm thinking Tom Holland is the greatest Peter Parker ever. Not so fast, he will. Not because after watching this movie, Tobey Maguire was great. He is
Mhm.
a great Peter Parker.
Mhm.
There's so many moments, but anyway, I don't know. We didn't got time to get bogged down by that. So, where are we? Let's talk about Doc Ock's arc from, I don't want to say mad scientist, but confident, arrogant scientist, right? I'm
Mhm.
confident I can do this to tragic villain. Um, I hate they killed his wife, man, but I mean, I think they kind of
Mhm.
had to do that to send him over the
Yeah.
edge. Give me your thoughts on Doc Ock's character arc from start to finish, from Genesis to Revelations, whatever. Just give me your thoughts on his arc and what they did with his character, and how does it compare with Marvel's Doc Ock?
This is this is arguably the greatest character arc for a villain in any Marvel movie. Um, just, I mean, and we get to sit down and literally have dinner with him before he is evil. We get to see the love that him and his wife have.
His wife have, yeah.
We get to see how we get to hear literally how they met. We get to hear his passion for his wife, for science. We get to hear all of that.
For
And
poetry.
and yes, and they both him and his wife are genuinely interested in Peter and his own life. Like these are two genuine human beings.
Yes.
And he loses the love of his life.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I mean, I think that on top of the fact that the arms were electrocuted to the point that there was no safety measure, so the arms were controlling his brain.
Mm-hmm.
So that on top of it really just sent him through a spiral, and very fitting for like parallel to Peter in this movie. The spiral that he's already been going through to start this movie, we see someone highest of highs drop down to the lowest of lows in Doc Ock, and the way Peter ends up snapping him back into things, and by the end of the movie, he's just like, I don't care anymore. I'm willing to risk my life to save the city because he doesn't want to die a monster. He literally says that. So it is just this is one of the most powerful character arcs, in any Marvel movie. I think this is a better character arc than anything we've gotten with Thanos. I think it's a better character. I think this is the definitive best character arc when it comes to any Spider-Man movie. I mean, I don't know another Marvel movie where I can definitively say that we have sat down with the villain and just appreciated the character himself and then watched him slowly just turn into this monster and then have the redeeming arc at the end. Like, I would say the closest, but that's over the span of many movies and shows, is Loki. But we saw that's over so many movies and shows, not one movie. That's what makes this so powerful. And I forget who plays Doc Ock. Alfred Molina.
Mm-hmm.
He just is incredible in the role. I don't know if we ever get a Doc Ock again. I don't know who can play him better than Alfred Molina. This is a character that every time I think of Doc Ock, I think of two things. I think of that green and yellow crazy looking suit in the animated series in the 90s, and then I think about Alfred Molina because he just knocks it out of the park. And I am so glad, like in the teaser for Spider-Man No Way Home, we got to see Doc Ock and him say hello, Peter. Like that was one of the greatest teasers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And because it told me everything I needed to know about the movie, and also it tells me everything I need to know about Alfred Molina, that he's talked about this, that he just loves this character. He's so, out of all the characters that he's done in all movies, he just loves this character so much. So this was, I don't know how you top this. And in my opinion, I don't think we should ever see Doc Ock again in the MCU. Unless we are doing a complete reboot, no Tom Holland, no connection to anything at all, and we are completely rebooting anything Marvel, then I can maybe understand it. But even then, I don't think you'll ever be able to top what transpired in Spider-Man 2 with Alfred Molina as Doc Ock.
That's fair. You know what's interesting? there's a theme, at least in this first set, right? Or this first this first set. Even the third installment, but the first three, there is a theme of reluctant hero and reluctant villains, right? So
Hmm.
Doc Ock is not villainous in his heart. He's a victim of circumstance in
Hmm.
that the legs are sentient AI. They take over. The inhibitor chip is fried. His wife dies. Cosmic set of circumstances, and he ends up a villain, but he's really not in control. In the first one with the goblin, he is clearly suffering from some sort of mental illness or delusion that takes over, whether it is multiple personality disorder, schizophrenia. It's not schizophrenia because with schizophrenia, I think they're not aware of each other, multiple
Yeah.
personality there, or vice versa. But either way, reluctant villains. Even if you look at Kurt Connors, the lizard,
Hmm.
reluctant villain, right? So a lot of times the villains mirror Spider-Man in that he's a reluctant hero. Peter Parker is not boastful by nature. Peter Parker is a humble kid, just wants to go about his business, live his life. He's imbued with these powers, and a lot of his struggle is responsibility versus happiness, but again, a reluctant hero. So just in watching that movie, that just kind of, because I never thought about it that way, right? Especially when you're a kid growing up reading comics, you think, oh, he's a bad guy. Oh, I hate this guy. But there's so many shades of gray when you become an adult and you see things. And don't get me wrong, there are villains. There are villains who are just evil, right? But oftentimes, there are villains who, by circumstance, end up on the wrong side of whatever. Does that make sense?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the themes in this movie. Responsibility versus happiness, very much so.
Hmm.
Um, Dual identity and burnout, yes. Redemption through sacrifice, yes. Mentorship and hubris, definitely on the behalf of Doc Ock. Definitely arrogant. Definitely tried to mentor Peter. Did we miss anything else in the themes as far as from your vantage point, or do you have everything covered here?
I mean, I think you got everything covered. I mean, responsibility. That's going to be you might as well copy and paste that for every other Spider-Man movie that we will review afterwards. Because I
Mhm.
mean, responsibility. That's just
Jordan, you there?
them in a spider. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
No,
here.
you cut out for a sec. You're good. You're good. Go
Um,
ahead.
if responsibility is not a theme of a Spider-Man movie, then maybe I don't know. Maybe that Spider-Man movie is going to be bad. Um, and I mean, maybe that's the issue that I have with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is that while responsibility is a theme, it's very pushed back
Hmm.
uh, in that movie. And it's of all the Spider-Man movies, that one, the responsibility in Spider-Man 3 hits responsibility a lot more than the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it just really pushes that. It is not. I would say there's like three or four higher arcing themes than responsibility in that movie. But yeah, that's if you can't make a Spider-Man movie without responsibility as a theme.
That's true. Let's talk about his loss of powers, right? So, because it plays a central
Mhm.
theme, and it really is, basically it's the guilt talking, and he's losing faith in himself, and as that manifests, and it's kind of intermittent, right? It's not just, oh, you lose your powers and that's it. It comes and goes, right? Because again, the guilt of Uncle Ben's death, and him not telling Aunt May about it, and Aunt May walking around in so many scenes saying, I feel guilty if it just wasn't for this, which people do when somebody die. I can tell you,
Mhm.
people do it. Um, it's killing him. It's literally killing him, right? But if you fall from 200 feet in the air, you should break a bone or two. I know you're Spider-Man, so I'm like, okay, you know, ah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I know he's super strong, but I don't know that he has super healing powers like Wolverine. So I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
wondering, like, and I don't know, maybe I should go back to my Marvel encyclopedia and look that up. I don't know that he heals at the rate that a normal human being would heal, but
Mm-hmm.
I would think if you fall from that distance, there's gonna be some broken bones. That's just
Mm-hmm.
me. Give me your thoughts when the guilt first manifests and his web shooter starts to clog up because he falls several times.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your thoughts on that.
This part of this movie is the one thing that gets everybody, whether you'll like the movie or you like the movie and you don't understand this, because this is the heated debate of this movie. Because there are people who don't like this, that he loses his powers. They think it's weird. Um, like, I mean, there's a guy who, and for a long time, I was one of those people. I'm like, this is
Mhm,
stupid. Um, but life happens for
mhm,
all of us,
mhm,
and I understand exactly I understand completely why his powers are not working. I completely get it. And there are people who don't get that. There's a streamer that I watch. I won't say their name, but and I respect him. I watch all his videos. Me and him have the same opinion on the order of these movies too. Which is very different than what the popular opinion is. Most people put Spider-Man 2 as the number one. Um, but he doesn't really care for the idea of him losing his powers. And for me, like for like 19, 20 years, I was like, I don't get this. Like, I don't know why you would lose. I don't know. I don't understand why he's losing his powers. But he's losing his powers because his mind is all over the place.
mhm,
He has to figure out, like, there are people in this world that I know, that I work with, that are in doing their own thing. They're 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 paying rent. They're trying to pay. They're tight on bills. They're tight on money. They're trying to pay rent. They're trying to keep electric on. They're trying to go to work. They're trying to. Some of them go to school. Some of them are trying to do other things to advance their careers, and they're doing so much. That's the struggles of life. This movie is about the struggles of life,
mhm,
and we all can experience burnout. And
mhm.
that is one thing that some people just don't
Don't
quite
get.
get.
Mhm,
And and it ends up hurting us. Um, and like, I mean, I was having this conversation with someone the other day that, about them balancing similar things that I just said. And, and I just tell them, like, focus on right now. Focus on the moment right now. Don't worry about what's happening tomorrow. Don't worry about what's happening a week from now. Don't worry about what's happening a month from now or a year from now. Worry about what is going on right now. Achieve this one small goal you need to complete right now, and you don't need to worry about what goes on later, because that's how burnout can happen. You're stressing about everything that's going to be happening an hour from now, 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now,
mhm,
tomorrow, the next
mhm,
week, the next month, the next year, the next decade, all because of this one moment. And if you focus in on and that's what ultimately he does. I mean, he ends up taking that focus on Mary Jane. Like, his focus in the moment is Mary Jane in this movie. And if he focuses on Mary Jane, then he can focus on other things. And then he can balance himself. And him losing his powers is the best way that they could have handled this movie. And in terms of, because I mean, they could have just had him going through unable to balance things. He could have maybe lost Aunt May in this movie, and that would have been sad. But no, I want to see a superhero go through mental struggles, and that's exactly what he goes through in this movie. And you don't need to. This is the definition of a movie that you don't need to see the scars on the outside to know that someone's going through something. Some people are just going through things, and you'll never see it. And that is something Peter goes through in this moment, and it is so powerful. And that is what makes this one of the all-time greatest scripts of any movie I've ever seen. I mean, forget about just comic book movies. I mean, this is one of the greatest scripts of any movie I've ever seen, and all because of that, the mental struggles that he is going through. And I mean, it culminates in like this like vision dream sequence where he's talking to Uncle Ben, and kind of like rehashing that conversation of with great power comes great responsibility, and like that you're going to go through struggles, and you need to understand the responsibilities that you have, and you need to focus. And the first thing out of his mouth, the first word of his mouth when he's trying to get his powers back and jumping over buildings, and he lands on his back, he's like, "Ow, my back." We got the famous "Oh, my back" scene. And the first word out of his mouth is focus. That is exactly what he needed to do in that moment. Focus on what is in front of him. You don't need this was in a literal sense, focusing in on what's in front of him. But some people need to be told, just focus on what's in front of you. And that's my psychology lesson for the day. I'm Dr. Burden, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Burden. I tell you what else was interesting is that just seeing the ways that self-doubt can manifest, right? And we've all been through this. No, I don't climb buildings. I'm not Spiderman, but we've all experienced something where it's just not our day, right? I was playing softball. This was years ago, back when I had a waist and could see my feet. I'm playing shortstop for the night. Typically I play in the outfield, but I'm playing shortstop for the night. And Jordan, everything hit to me. I missed. And I played second base. So I'd played the infield before, but it got to be a mental thing. Like everything I got the yips. For like one game, I got the yips, and everything. It was like just hit it to the shortstop. It literally, I must have messed up about 10 balls. I cannot explain it to this day, because I went back the week after that and I was fine. But for that one game, I couldn't do anything right. It was terrible. Every ball that was hit to me, it was like either I'd make a bad throw, I don't fit. Like, it was terrible, but I had so much on my mind. And sometimes we're stressed out and we don't even know it, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. Like you said, I got to do this. I got to pay this bill. I got to do this. I got to make sure this person's here. I got to make sure this person there. I got to have this part. I got to do, you know what I mean? We have so many roles and so many responsibilities. And if you don't manage it, it will manage you. And this is what's happening. Peter's stress in this scenario, it's managing him, which is really a subconscious decision by his body to say, look, I need to get your attention. You need to resolve this, or it's going to resolve you, right? So I thought that was interesting. There's so many things that happen. Like all of a sudden he can't see anybody, and it's intermittent things. They don't happen all at once, right? But it's intermittent things. And it really doesn't get better until MJ is threatened and Peter gets pissed off. And then he's like, I'm going to kill you. If you touch a hair on her head, I'm going to kill you. And he gets pissed off. And of course, it's funny. Nobody even thinks that he would be Superman, excuse me, Spider-Man, just by the way he plays it in his nature. But it's in that scene. It's like, okay, right then and there, even though we don't see it, his powers are back because he is focused. Like you said, he is focused. Um, excuse me. Let's talk about the operating room, right? Let's go back a few scenes. You know, uh, everything's just gone wrong, and it's funny. It's like you say, Doc Ock's life is blown up. Harry's life is definitely blown up because he invested everything, and now he's just like, oh, my company. And he's just pissed, and he just finds a reason to blame Spider-Man. He was like, well, it's Spider-Man's fault. He's like, why? He saved your life. He touched me. Like, whatever, Harry. Get over here.
It's one of the funniest scenes where when he leaves the building after the initial accident, he's like, I'm ruined. I have nothing left but Spider-Man. and some guy in the background's like, he saved you, sir. And he's like, he touched me.
Touched me, right? I was like, come on, man.
It still gets me every time.
What are we doing here, Harry? Anyway.
This is probably one of my most underrated parts of Harry, this initial like first half hour, 45 minutes of this movie, because Harry in all other iterations is this like rich fancy kid, like he knows he's got everything, and this is the closest we get to the comic accurate Harry Osborn from James Franco. And James Franco, in my opinion, look, there are a lot of people who don't really like James Franco as him, but I really like James Franco as Harry Osborn. I like it's, and there have been people like, I know James Franco himself doesn't really care for the role, mainly because of how they treated the character in Spider-Man 3. I mean, it was the butt of a joke in the movie This Is the End, which is an incredibly hilarious movie. But this initial part, because he's like, he knows he runs Oscorp, he's got all this money, and he's just like flaunting it and stuff, and he's so egotistical in this moment, and he finally breaks that character as soon as he sees Peter is Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's when that's literally when the ish hits the fan. When he just Peter. Oh my God, he's so pissed. So yeah, Doc Ock is being operated on, and then the guy cracks the joke. Anybody have whatever? And he starts the saw up, and the arms come to life. And oh boy, throwing people here, throwing people there, throwing people here, throwing people there. And then all of a sudden, one guy gets the bright idea to kill one of the arms. And why did he do that, Jordan? Because all of them gang up on him, and shall we say, he won't be getting any more Christmas cards anymore. Yeah, man. So again, reluctant villain. The AI is sentient. It's driving the car, so to speak. And we kind of see him. There's really no struggle at this point because the AI is sentient and it's driving the car. And he asked himself a couple of questions in the beginning, but again, they're just, well, what about this? And I don't need to help Pete. I don't need to whatever. It's Peter's fault. Da 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 da. And he sets about trying to rebuild this reactor that's going to cause destruction to the city. I didn't make an error, is what he says. I didn't make an error. My calculations were fine. And right there we got we got arrogance and a loss of control which to me is Doc Ock's downfall. His incredible arrogance, which always leads to a loss of control or some sort of chaos. Um, and you know, those are my thoughts. But again, I really did like the way they handled the chaos in all of the scenes. There's a sense, even though it's chaos, there's a sense of order to it. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's one incident, two incident, three incident, four. It's not just chaotic with no pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's actually a chaos theme that I won't get into, but it says that chaos has its own order. But anyway, whatever. And that was a great movie with Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham. If you ever get a chance to see it, great movie. But anyway, um, yeah, man, just this scene to me kind of sets up everything in that there's foreshadowing in that Doc Ock is not going to stop until he either destroys the world or somebody stops him. He's just not going to stop. That's evident. There's going to be no reasoning with you're going to have to kill him. You're going to have to, or you're going to have to hurt him so bad that his arms cease to exist. You're going to have to mortally wound this guy to stop him. That's the only way it's going to happen. You know, those are my thoughts. Let's go to another scene. Let's go to the raindrops montage, which I really liked, right? It's when Peter just says, you know what, Uncle Ben, F it. I'm not going to be Spider-Man anymore. F it. I'm not going to do it. Raindrops keep falling on my head. I'm not going to perform it. But I thought it was great. I thought it was great. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie, Jordan. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it in front of me, you, 12 of our friends in the interweb. Maybe, just maybe, I'm reconsidering the dance theme from Spider-Man 3. There, I said it. Okay, I said it. Because it's like, no, 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 don't go. Don't go into the light, T-Will. Don't do it. I'll tell you why, Jordan. I saw what they were trying to do through the raindrops montage. I really saw it. Now, Spider-Man 3 was kind of corny in the whole when you reject like it was corny. It was really corny. But I got what they were trying to do in the raindrops montage. They should have done it where Peter's not singing. They should have just done another montage with whatever the hell song they were doing in Spider-Man 3. But I got it. Right? I saw what they were trying to do through the raindrops montage in Spider-Man 3. Didn't work, but I saw what they were trying to do. Okay? I'm not justifying. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I saw it. Okay. Anyway, Peter's enjoying life. He's free. You know what I mean? He's not thinking about it's 12 o'clock at night and I got to go out and be Spider-Man and save this poor kid. He goes to see MJ's play. She sees him in the audience. It's great. Life is great. Everything's wonderful. But it's phony, right? It's phony because it's not going to last. And I think that we all kind of go through this, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever had like a project that was due and you didn't want to do it. And you just kind of delayed and procrastinated. And it just seemed like you have the most fun when you have something to do and you just kind of cut off for a second and go do something, even though you can't enjoy it. But like, there's like, you know what I mean? Or kind of like when you're in trouble with your parents and you're trying to just delay time because your mom has said, ooh, when I see you. You know what I mean? And you're like, that's when you have the most fun because it's the calm before the storm, right? Because you know when mom gets home, oh my God, there's going to be hell to pay. But until that moment, oh my God, it's great. That's what this is to me, or that's what it seems like to me. It seems like the rain kind of plays a role of kind of it's cleansing him, so to speak. It's cleansing him. I don't want to say of past guilt, but it's cleansing him of the responsibility, even though it's not going to last, and we know it's not going to last. This is kind of his refuge, if that makes sense. Let's talk about this scene. Give me your thoughts on it.
Well, I think this song is a perfect choice because, I mean, it's like any other storm. The storm begins and ends, but the storm will end. The storm will not go on forever, and it's the equivalent to this. Like, it's sort of like the opposite effect. Like, we see the sun, and it was a specific shot at the sun, and we see like how bright and shiny the day is, and Peter's having a great day, even though he's tripping over his own feet and losing his glasses. And he's
And
watching
acting like nobody saw it, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, okay, wait a minute."
He sees a fire truck going by, and we all think like, oh, is he concerned? Nope, he's just watching like any other New Yorker eating a hot dog. And he, but like I said, it's like any other storm. It begins and it ends, and we all know in this moment, raindrops are falling on his head right now, but this will end. All of this positivity that you're feeling right now, it feels good right now, but you're gonna regret that soon. And he does, and he later on sees one person like get mugged in an alleyway, and like that was a part, which, I mean, that might be like a very small scene, but it definitely like helps push him, like, hey, there's no friendly neighborhood vigilante to help these people.
Right.
So very great song choice. And yes, I agree with you. I think this scene influenced the scene in Spider-Man 3 100%. And the difference is there was a reasoning behind the song choice, behind the camera work. There was a reason behind everything, because it was supposed to be this mental release for Peter. That's what this scene meant. And I know that they did in Spider-Man 3, they did all of that because it's a nerd. He's a nerd at heart, and that Venom symbiote is just making the nerd come to life. But it's just not good at all.
Yeah, I think where they went wrong is in this one, he's not singing, right? I think you could have done the same thing in Spider-Man 3, but just done it as a montage, and it comes out totally different, right? But and I'll tell you what else was interesting is the conversation in the song, the lyrics, "Hey, I had a conversation with the sun, sleeping on the job." Like, but that's literally also, I don't want to say Peter sleeping on the job, but that's kind of what's going on with him, right? So again, great song choice, because that's exactly what he's doing. He's taking a break, right? He's sleeping on the job. He's whatever. There's a robbery. Okay, que sera, sera. You know what I mean? Kumbaya, everybody. Hey, it's all good. I see you getting mugged over there, baby. You're gonna work it out. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's but it does lead to that. All right, man. One of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes in this movie, the train fight. Okay. Brilliantly done. Love the stunts. Love the scenes. Love the certain movements when an opposite train is coming in a direction, and the Spider-Man movie. Whenever you do a Spider-Man movie, there are movements that are just germane to Spider-Man. And one of them is his ability to bend all the way back but still stay affixed to whatever he's attached to, because he's a spider. So that scene where the train is coming in the opposite direction and he has to do that because his spider senses are going off and firing is great. Also, he has to duck when the train comes under a bridge, and the fight that he has with Doc Ock is outstanding. I loved it. I love everything about this movie. I love the relationship with New York and Spider-Man. I love that scene because there are two things going on in this scene. One is the conflict between Doc Ock and Spider-Man, but 2 is the coming out party. The I'm back. I'm back. This is
Mhm.
Spider-Man announcing, "Hey New York, I'm back. I know I was gone. I know I was gone, but allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Spider-Man. Let's go." You know what I mean? And the conflict happened, and Doc Ock says, "Hey, you got to save a train, got to go by." And Peter figures out a way to stop the train from going off the track. He's exhausted, and the customers on the New York train save him and pull him back and give him his mask back. And one out of the mouth of babes, the little kid says, "Hey, we missed you, and here's your mask, and we're not going to tell anybody. We got you, Spider-Man. We got you." And I loved it because in most Spider-Man movies, New York is a background character, and that is New York. And it's funny, there's certain cities that are that way. Your New York, your Philadelphia cities. New York is a tough place to play any sport. Philadelphia is a tough place to play any sport. But if they love you, if they see that you are about them every night, man, you don't want to play anywhere else
Mhm.
because they're going to stand up for you. Because and I mean, I can't describe it any other way, but that's kind of what I felt in that moment when Peter's lying there and they hand him his mask and they're like, "We're not going to tell anybody." And you feel it. You feel that connection. And that is New York saying to Peter, "I know you've been gone. It's all right. Welcome back." Talk to me about what you saw in that scene. Just give me your thoughts on it.
Well, the fight itself, it was a great fight, but the end of this fight was it was incomparable. I mean, I don't believe you can do this scene ever again. Um, where the New Yorkers are pulling him back on the train and carrying him, and everybody's and, like, seeing the reactions, like, on their faces. They're like, he's just a kid, no older than my son,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, you see these kids walk up and with the masks and say, "We're not going to tell anybody." Like, these because these people love him. These people, it is like, I mean, I don't even think like, think about your city's most famous athlete ever.
Hmm.
Not even on that level. This is on a level higher than that, where like, I mean, for some people, for some cities, their best athlete could run for mayor, and they and run for governor, and they would win because everybody loves them. This Spider-Man is on a completely higher level because he saves these people every single day to make the neighborhood friendly. And he just I mean, you can't do this scene now because in this scene, if this scene was done today, you'd have phones out. Like, this movie came out at the perfect time because I would say in Spider-Man, if this came out like 3 years later with Spider-Man 3, there would probably be some cell phones. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I, I think, I mean, you can't do the scene ever again.
Right.
And
Because
there's
that's
this
absolutely what I was thinking. What you just I'm thinking, where's the cell phone? Like
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, it's 2004.
2004,
Yeah.
2004.
Because that my first
Hmm.
thought, where are the cell phones? Wait,
Hmm.
what? Nobody's taking
Hmm.
pictures. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it was a great time. Because I got to experience a little bit of that. So every day, I want to make. All right, this is my personal life that I'm going to talk about real quick. Every day, I have someone who's like, "Oh, you didn't grow up around times with payphones. You didn't grow up. You didn't see. You don't even know what a flip phone is." And I'm like, dude, I've used payphones. I've been to Blockbuster. I literally remember dial up. I remember
Low
using.
dial.
I remember on my grandmother's
The
phone
rotary phone.
having yes, yes. I
Yeah.
remember all because I if you grew up in 2000 and weren't like really like well off, you got to experience the last of like all of that.
The landlines.
Like
Yeah.
I remember phone books. Okay, I
Uh-huh.
remember all of that. I
Yeah.
remember especially during when Spider-Man this movie came out. I remember seeing this movie in theaters. And the way we had to figure out the times for the movie is we had to go into the phone book, we had to call the movie theater, and the
Yep.
movie theater had to tell you what times the
Time it was
movie was
showing.
playing.
Yep.
So,
Or the newspaper. Or the newspaper.
yes,
Sometimes
or
it's
the
in the newspaper.
newspaper.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
with this scene, this is like one of the last scenes in any movie during this time period where you see you don't see like the media everywhere where like in within the movie itself,
Hmm.
like you don't, because you don't see the cell phones, you don't see any of that, you just see people living their lives. And I mean, you see literally a mother holding her child on the train. You see a guy with the worker hat, he looks like he's going to work or coming home from work. Like you see kids who are probably coming home from school. So like you see these people living their lives, and there is no scene in any other superhero movie remotely close that displays the power of the city or town or population of a superhero that they're in. There's nothing New York ever does that comes close to this, even though like in the first Avengers movie they're literally in New York. I mean,
Hmm.
when in Age of Ultron, the Avengers are in Sokovia. We see the Sokovian people. There are scenes that are great in Spider-Man 1 and 3. We see New York as a lively character, especially in Spider-Man 1. When I mean, you have the you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us line,
Right.
as they're throwing trash at the Goblin, and I mean, this is an incomparable scene, and it
Yes.
is the defining moment of this whole entire movie, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I mean, we are seeing memes made to this day. I'm sure
Hmm.
you can go to Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, whatever, YouTube, and you will see a meme of that today of someone saying, hey, he's a hero. And
Hmm.
it's like someone's face on Spider Man's body.
Hmm.
And it's every time I've ever seen this scene, I think of I just think that Spider-Man is on another level of he has done so much, and he constantly gets beat down and beat down and beat down everything he goes through, whether that's in these movies, these shows, the comics, anything.
Hmm.
And seeing these strangers who he doesn't know, they don't really know him, but
Hmm.
they know what he stands for.
Hmm.
And it is, I think this is the most powerful scene
Hmm.
of any Marvel movie, maybe any movie I've ever seen.
Hmm.
And it's not the best scene, it's the most powerful in terms of the emotion that it
Yeah.
brings.
Yeah.
Like with Endgame, it's very different when everybody's lined up there and Cap says Avengers Assemble, and when Cap grabs the hammer. There, it's different when like when Tony snaps his fingers and stuff says I am Iron
Yeah.
Man. Very
Yeah.
different feelings during
Yeah.
that. And even in Spider-Man No Way Home, like when Aunt May dies, like and Peter's reaction to all of that, very different. The power that is within this scene, again, incomprehensible, incomparable to anything any other movie has ever done. I mean, I could literally talk about this scene for an hour. But I love this scene so much.
Incredible scene. Couldn't have said it better myself. And talking about you referenced something that the actor who played J. Jonah Jameson in this film, just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. What encapsulates him the best is when he's like, "Yeah, probably went too hard on Spider-Man." You know what I mean? It's when this is when MJ gets kidnapped. He's like, "Yeah, he probably would have been there to save MJ." You know, that Spider-Man is a thief and a menace. Oh my God, he just took his uniform. News press, Spider-Man a thief, and he goes right into it. And I'm like, that is perfect for J. Jonah Jameson. Like, his hatred for Spider-Man is so great. Even even in a moment when he knows he's wrong and Spider-Man does something, it's like, okay, let's
Mhm.
vilify Spider-Man again. But I just thought the actor who played him just did a great job. Okay, he's a little campy. I will give you that. He's a
Mhm.
little superhero right?
Mhm.
He's a little. I'm not gonna say he's a mustache twirling villain, but
It's
he's
comic booky.
comic booky,
Yeah.
right? But he's
Yeah.
great. Oh God, he's
Mhm.
great at it. He is great. I forgot how good he was
Mhm.
in this series, and I just think
My
it-
favorite is when he's like, Miss Brandt, give me a violin. every time, every time he says that, it's like because when I'm with someone and someone's like complaining about something small, I'll be like, "Oh, what's that over there? Oh, it's the world's smallest violin."
here you
So
go.
I
You can
love
have
that.
it.
I love that scene so much.
Yeah. Or when he's like, "You're fired." Oh wait, no, we gotta do this shoot. Ha, you're hired again. Let's go. Yeah.
Or when Peter's like, "Can I get an advancement?" and he looks so dead serious at the camera, and he's like, and he does this voice crack, and every time you hear the crack, you can't help but bust out laughing, and it's turned into a meme. His laugh. So he's so great in this movie, and I like when I rewatched the first Spider-Man movie in theaters. I had completely forgot his dialogue and just how funny he was. This
Mm,
movie, I mean, I remember he's a little bit more quotable in this movie. Like you can definitely tell. Like I mean, when Peter doesn't have a suit and he's like apologizing and stuff, um, and then Peter steals the suit again, and he's like, he's a thief. He's a menace.
right, right. That's what was funny. It's like in the same
Right.
sentence, bro. Like, golly, man. That was. I mean, that was just great, bro. That like I that was because I mean that's just him. That's just J. Jonah Jameson, man. That's just how he gets down. Whoops, sorry about that. Too soon for that. Anyway, let's get to the final scene, right? And well, I tell you what. Before we do that, let's get back to the scene where he's in the diner with her because again, some of the scenes, great camera work, great setup. I think that they do with his spider senses some just great scenarios, right? So he's
Mhm.
sitting there, he's talking with her. You know what I mean? We already talked about what happened before, so we know what's going on in this scene. She is trying to kiss him to either A, get closure, or B, find out if he really
Mhm.
is Spider-Man, if Spider-Man and Peter Parker are one, and if that's why, she can't get over. She's trying to get some questions answered and she's puckering up. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If the woman that you love is about to kiss you, you're not gonna be thinking of anything else because I'm right there with them. Like, yes, here's the moment because I forgot what's about to happen, and then all of a sudden we see his glasses we see a twinkle or whatever, and he's like, "Oh God!" and he jumps across the table
Mhm.
um, pushing Mary Jane out of the way. The car ascends barely over them. Matter of fact, I think the tire rubs across his face. Love the way they did that. The glass goes
Mhm.
everywhere. Now, glass probably would have got in somebody's eye. That's a little unrealistic, all that
Mhm.
glass. But Love the way they did that. The way they set that up to go from endearing moment to, oh, snap. Oh, God, it's about to go down. That was great. That was great. I love the intensity in that scene. It's like going from syrupy sweet to really bitter, and it really ends up well. Two great tastes that taste great together. I love the way they did that scene because it's
Mhm.
really going from an endearing moment. Oh, this is what's going on. I got my whole podcast to review on to, oh my God, it's about to go down. Where's my popcorn? Oh, wow.
Mhm.
And just the way that that scene was done. And then, when the car comes in there, you just hear boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, Peter, get her out of the way. You know what I mean? That's the one issue I have with this thing is
Mhm.
that you got to know that's Doc Ock, right? Peter should have said, hey, you need to go. But he's Peter. He's not Spider-Man. So she probably wouldn't have left anyway. But I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Anyway, Doc Ock shows up. Hey, where's Spider-Man? Da 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 da. Grabs Peter. And he says, if you hurt her, ooh, and man, oh, that was such a great scene. Just the setup
Mhm.
for what is to come. But the fact that he threw a car in there, man, this Doc Ock means business. Like, dude, you could have just showed up. That would have been fine. No, you got to throw a car from a block away, right? Because it took him time to get there. So he wasn't just next door and threw it. Like, he hurled that thing and it crashes
Mhm.
through there. And just the way that that scene was done, again, even though there's chaos in it, you can see the order to it. I loved it. Let's talk about how you feel about this scene, and then we got to jump to the last one. But just
Mhm.
give me your thoughts on this scene in general.
I mean, I love how the camera work in this scene. I love the
Yes,
design of like the
yes,
crash itself, and it is. I mean, we touched on like the actual dynamic between Peter and MJ in this sequence before. So, but just overall, yeah, hearing the boom, 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 because you're
yeah.
like, what the heck is that? And you're like, oh, it's Doc Ock. Okay. And it's it's interesting because Harry rats out Peter, and that's how Doc Ock goes and like
Right,
Harry puts him in this situation and puts Mary
he does.
Jane in this situation, saying, "Oh, Peter is takes photos of Spider
Peter
Man.
knows
You should
Spider-Man.
go
He takes
talk to him."
photos. Go
And
see him. But
I
he's really mad
and
with
I'm
Peter.
like, "What?
No, that
Yeah,
makes sense
but
to
like
me. He's mad with Peter. Think
I don't
about where he is, Jordan. Think about where
I
he
don't
is,
think
right?
he's that mad
I
at
do.
him
I do. I do. And I'll tell
because
you
he
why.
doesn't know he's Spider Man yet."
He doesn't, but he knows that he knows who Spider-Man is. Remember, they have a conversation earlier where he's like, you know, are you going to tell me? Would you tell me? And he doesn't answer him. And then they see each other again and he brings it up again and he's like, I'm sick of you bringing it up. And he's like, and I'm going to keep bringing it up. So he's angry with him because he knows he's pissed with him.
But
He is 38 hot with Peter.
But there's one thing he says. The last thing he says to Doc Ock when Doc Ock leaves, the last thing he says is, "Don't hurt Peter." Is the last thing he says to him.
Right, because he doesn't he
So,
doesn't he doesn't he doesn't think that Peter and Spider-Man are one,
mhm.
but he knows that Peter knows who he is, right?
Yeah,
He
and he's
doesn't want him
mad at
dead.
him. Yeah.
He doesn't want I see your point. I think Harry's a little delulu. Isn't that how you young folks
Hmm.
said
Hmm.
he's a little delulu at this
I mean,
moment. You get
I don't say it, but
what
I don't say it, but they people do say
but
it.
you've heard it. You've heard it.
Yeah. Oh,
Kind
yeah. Yep.
kind,
Hmm.
kind of like
Yeah.
saucy. Kind of like saucy. Yeah. No.
I've never heard
No.
anyone but
No,
you
you
say
never.
that.
Whatever.
No,
Whatever.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So.
That's an only you thing.
Oh wow. You know what? I'm gonna find somebody on the internet saying that, and I'm gonna send it to you and Dave, It's all good though. But no,
I think you might be Delulu, bud.
I like what you did there. I set myself up for it. But seriously, I think he is a little delusional in the fact that he doesn't recognize that Doc Ock is delusional, right? He's so
Mhm.
blinded by his need for revenge. You're gonna agree to give this dude tritium. He's gonna blow up New York, but you don't care. You just want to find out who Spider-Man is, so you can kill the man who killed your dad in your mind. Excuse me. So I think he's a little deluded. No, he doesn't want to hurt Peter, but he is pissed with him. You don't think he's pissed with him? I do. I think he's pissed with Peter.
I think he's mad at him, but like in a way that like if you've ever been angry, like the worst anger you've had for your best friend, like he's still his best friend.
Right, of
And
course.
I and like I mean they've been to funerals together. They've been everywhere together.
Yeah,
And I mean he put Peter and MJ, his ex, in a situation that like they could have died.
yeah,
And but he's like, "Oh, don't hurt Peter."
right,
You asked the wrong guy to do this
right,
thing if you don't want him hurt.
right.
Like, yeah, he is delusional in that sense. Like,
Or
he
do,
should have
you
thought more.
or do you think he's kind of assuaging his guilt after the moment, like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Don't hurt Peter, right? Like,
Yeah, I think that's
you know
what
what I
he's
mean?
doing.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah,
it's done now. So,
yeah.
yeah, Peter accepts the challenge, obviously goes to the lair of Doc Ock, and it
Mhm.
goes down. And of course, there's a fight and a struggle. Um, and again, it's interesting at how these villains meet their end, right? So, in in the first one with the Goblin is trying to impale Peter in his well, Spider-Man, and his spider senses go off, and he flips up and he ends up impaling himself. In this one, I think Doc Ock is trying to impale him again, and he takes it and plugs it into this set of wires and electrocutes Doc Ock, which kills the
Mhm.
sentient arms or whatever. But again, the theory is I'm gonna, when you plot a course for revenge, dig two graves. I'm gonna use what you do against me against you, right? And which he does. Um, and hey, Doc Ock goes down. Now it's about trying to save the city. And Doc Ock is redeemed because now he's got his wits about him. He sees what's going on. He doesn't want to be remembered as a monster. He does the right thing, grabs the orb, goes down with the ship, so to speak. Peter saves MJ. And finally, Jordan, finally, after two movies, and about 4 hours,
Mhm.
MJ finds out that Peter Parker is Spider Man. And she has this look on her face like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And she says, You do love me. And he says, Yeah. Right. Which kind of
Mhm.
reaffirms her faith in him and everything and all the struggle they went through. And I tell you what I thought was kind of funny. I don't know it was funny, but I saw what they did there, right? So they're on the spider web, and he says, Now that you know my secret, you know why we can't be together. Because if anybody found out about you, that would put you in danger. And I would never forgive myself if something happened to you. He's already going through guilt with Uncle Ben.
Mhm.
And I totally believe him in that moment. I think
Mhm.
again, Tobey Maguire is the perfect Peter Parker because in
Mhm.
that moment, I totally believe what so, that he does a great job of saying stuff without saying it, right? So he's talking to her,
Mhm.
but he's also talking to us in that, dude, Uncle Ben died. It's taken me two movies to get over this. I don't need Mary Jane dying again, right? And so we believe
Mhm.
that. But what I thought was really funny, and I don't know if anybody caught this. I'm sure somebody out there caught this. But when he tells her they can't be together, it was funny to me. I'm sorry because I'm corny. You might laugh, you might. But as she descends to the earth, he's kind of letting her down easy. No?
Mhm.
You get it? Letting her down easy? No? You get what I'm
That was
saying?
yeah,
Yeah, he's letting it.
interesting. That was
Yeah,
good. I like that.
yeah. I
I
knew
didn't
you
think about
would.
that.
I knew you would.
Wow.
I've been waiting for the whole podcast to get to this point because I knew you would dig it. I don't know if anybody else is gonna dig it, but I knew you would dig it, right? I knew you would dig it, bro. I'm sitting there watching it, going, "Holy shit!" I get. Oh man, I just cursed. I didn't mean to. Sorry, Bob. I'm sitting there watching it, going, "Oh my god!" Hey, love it,
10 out
love
of
it,
10.
love it,
10 out of 10.
love it,
10
love
out of
it.
10.
I'm sitting there
Bravo.
watching it, going, "I can't wait to say this to Jordan," and it just hit me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's letting her down, and it is so easy as she's going down. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I see what they did there in that moment. That was very good,
Mm-hmm.
right? And of course, there's the wedding that doesn't happen, and she sends him a Dear John letter, which is kind of a crappy thing to do. I think she should have at least told him to his face, "I can't marry you," but whatever. And she goes, and of course, she says, "Hey, I made my choice. I choose to be with you." And again, for that moment, it's great. And I just love that. I love that entire scene. I felt like it was finally the payoff. It's been two movies. She finally finds out. It's great. Whatever. Love it. Give me your thoughts on this final scene, man.
I always the corniest part of this movie, in my opinion, is when Mary Jane is running through the middle of New York with a wedding dress. And fun fact, fun fact that not many people know about, and I need to confirm which person this is. Um, so this is yes, it's this one. Um, so the same year there was another Marvel movie that came out called The Punisher. One we're not going to be reviewing because there's technically not a connection. Um, so so when Mary Jane is running, you can see clear as day, and Sam Raimi has confirmed this. Thomas Jane in his Punisher outfit, turning around and watching her run.
Get
And
out of
every time I see this scene, I
Get out
see
of here.
him and I'm like, holy crap, that's Thomas Jane's
I can't
Punisher.
believe I missed that. Oh man, you
Yes.
found a way to top me. Wow.
So it's
Wow. I
very
cannot believe I missed
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, a lot of people missed it. I mean, he didn't release that for maybe a decade plus. I mean, he didn't even confirm that. I don't think until No Way Home or Doctor. It might have been Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness when Sam Raimi did that. Like it was a very long time.
I gotta go back and watch this scene tonight, bro. I like now I gotta go back and watch it. Now you just blew
Because
my mind.
he has this like look like what like because all right, if let's be honest, if we all were in the middle just walking through like wherever and we just see some redheaded lady walking with a huge wedding dress running, like we're just like, what the heck is wrong with her? So that's what we're all thinking.
Right,
I mean,
right.
so but yeah, overall, and when she ends up seeing Peter in his apartment, um I mean, it's a fantastic way to end this movie. Also, the final shot of this movie is even better because,
Yes, yes.
and a lot of people don't know, a lot of people really don't look at it and think about it much, but the look on Mary Jane's face goes to almost like scared nervous when Peter swings away and it fades to black. And it's almost like a sign of things to come for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is a very like hauntingly beautiful scene. Um and just yeah, overall the whole scene, it sucks that he had like on the wedding day he's just like, all right, well, there goes. And J. Jonah Jameson has like something like send back the caviar or something like that.
Yeah, that was
That
funny.
was fantastic.
That was funny. And he never broke
But
character. He
mhm,
never broke. Like, that was great.
yeah, but yeah, this ending in this movie was just a perfect ending to this film. And because
That was great.
normally with movies like this, with scripts like this, you have a hard time finding a way to wrap things up, and they really wrap everything up in a really nice bow.
No, it was great, man. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was I really had fun watching this movie again.
Hmm.
So enjoyed it, man. We gotta go because we got another one that we gotta do
Hmm.
coming up. So we gotta go ahead and rate this movie.
Hmm.
And yeah, man, we've done a lot of movies together, bro. We're starting to like really get
Yeah.
up there. Like we've done a lot of movies. So and it's fun. It really is fun. So we're
Hmm.
gonna get to it here. Try to get to it. What are we doing here, T Will? Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna read your list and then I'll read mine. So Jordan gave
Hmm.
Spider-Man a 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic Four 9.5 out of 10. Captain America, the First Avenger, 8 out of 10. X-Men First Class, 8 out of 10. Blade, 7.5 out of 10. X2, 7.5 out of 10. X-Men Apocalypse, 7 out of 10. X-Men, 7 out of 10. X-Men Dark Origins, 6 out of 10. X-Men Origins Wolverine, 4 out of 10. Blade, 3 out of 10. Daredevil, 2.5 out of 10. I gave Spider-Man 10 out of 10. Captain America, 8 out of 10. X-Men First Class, 8 out of 10. X-Men Dark Phoenix, 8 out of 10. Fantastic Four First Steps, 8 out of 10. Blade, 9 out of 10. X2, 7.5 out of 10. X-Men, 7.5 out of 10. X-Men Apocalypse, 7 out of 10. Daredevil, 6.5 out of 10. Captain America, 5.5 out of 10. And X-Men Wolverine, 5 out of 10. And did I miss any? Let me see. I may have Blade 2. I did miss that. Blade 2. I can't even see that, Jordan.
5 out of 10.
All right. And then what was your bottom one?
Captain Marvel 2.5 out of 10.
Yep, there you go. All right. So that's our ratings. I'm going to go ahead and get mine out of the way. I gave this one a 9.5 out of 10 because the imperfections of life are kind of captured in this. And I think kind of the main theme or crux of this is life isn't perfect and things are going to happen. Storms are going to come and you just got to manage them. You just gotta
Hmm.
you just gotta manage them, and you'll get through it. And life will be great, and another storm will come, and you'll get through that. And it's just a series of that. And that, in my opinion, is the crux of his story. And at 55, I can tell you that's pretty much true. So I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10. Jordan, drum roll. What's your rating for this one?
I love this movie so much. And for years, I had the first Spider-Man movie ahead of Spider-Man 2. Um, last year or 2 years ago, when I rewatched the whole MCU and all multiverse movies that included Spider-Man's, I had Spider-Man 2 ahead of Spider-Man 1. Um, but uh, on rewatch of both these movies again, especially seeing Spider-Man 1 in the theaters, Spider-Man 1 I had given a 9.5 out of 10. It was very close to a 10 out of 10. And this movie, I am going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 as well. Now, this time, I'm going to put it below Spider-Man 1. Um,
Mm,
so I'm putting it below Spider-Man 1 because my theater experience, and now I can say I've seen all the Spider-Man movies in theaters. My theater experience for the first Spider-Man movie was something that I don't think I'm ever going to forget about. Um, like this was a rewatch of a movie that was 23 years old.
mm-hmm.
Um, I remember seeing Spider-Man 2 in theaters for the first time, and I love that. I love this movie so much. Again, this is one of the greatest scripts of a Marvel movie ever. I think actually, you know what? I'm gonna say it. It is the greatest script of a Marvel movie ever.
Mm.
I don't think we will. I don't think we will get to a movie with a better script than this. So this movie just does everything great. And is it the reason it's not a 10 out of 10 for me? And like with Spider-Man, with the first Spider-Man movie, there's just some issues, or just maybe the timing, that it's just not a 10 out of 10 for me. It's very close to a 10 out of 10 for me. I mean, it's the second highest rated movie that I have that's not a 10 out of 10. And the third highest is Spider-Man 2. I find this one, I think, not as rewatchable as the first one.
Okay.
Mainly because there's a lot of deep emotions and deep understanding. There's a lot of more thinking in this movie than there is, and that's not a fault. That's something that makes this movie great. But for me, like, all my 10 out of 10 movies are rewatchable, and I love everything about them. And I just don't find Spider-Man 2 as rewatchable. That's maybe the only thing I have as an issue. I also am a sucker for origin stories, which is why the first one is ahead of the second.
Yeah, you love you some origin stories.
Mhm.
That is true. That is very true. Well, hey, either way, man, great movie. And guess what? We got to come back and do this again. As a matter of fact, we're about to come back and do it now. But Jordan, you there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You went. Okay. Sorry. Just making sure. So hey, I sent you the link for the other one. We're gonna go ahead and hop on over to that one now, because I actually did two different shows. Because I thought to myself, well, what if you wanted to do two? What if you wanted to watch it two separate times? So we're about to hop on over to the other one. To everybody who joined, we appreciate you. Guess what? If you want to hang around or go on over to the other one, we're about to do Elektra. Okay, I will give you, this movie is not as great as Spider-Man 2, but I did enjoy watching it a second time. And maybe if you listen to Jordan and I and our reenactment of it as we discuss it, you might just enjoy it too. Either way, we will see you on the other side. To everybody who joined, thank you. We're about to hop on over to the other show. Jordan, see you on the other side, buddy.
This movie was about
Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies, when we run this town with your host, T-Will, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classics, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. T-Will, T-Will. It's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. T-Will, T-Will. Every frame we capture is a real deal. Yeah. Talking premieres where the stars align. ATL views, yeah, they really shine. Behind the